G'day everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at a nice battle in one of my favorite ships, the Russian Tier 10 battle cruiser Stalingrad. Now this is not going to be a normal battle, as you'll soon see, as regards to ammo choices. So in we go. Two fairly balanced teams, a few non-clanners on both sides. Perhaps our side looks slightly stronger. Radars seem to be equally given out. No, they have two extra radars, only one DD per side. So let's have a look. I spawn on the A side on this map, which can be quite tricky because you do need to make a play for A. You cannot just surrender it without a fight. But such is its position, if you go for A or try and support A without support, you're going to die really quickly because you cannot take easy cover. So I ask for help on this flank, and the thing is I have the rudder shift build. I hope this Kutuzov comes this way. I have the rudder shift build and enormous detectability, so I really can't sneak up on anyone. I'm going to be visible from miles. Regardless, I do have to push here, and we'll just see what happens. The detectability can kind of also help me in that the moment I'm spotted, the enemy will fire, thereby spotting themselves for me. See that the planes spot us before we see them. It's ridiculous. I will immediately start turning to starboard because any BBs are going to already be shooting at us. And we'll see how it goes. Well, that was some decent AA. There's the Yamato. He's already fired. I think we've already turned and we are going to be safe. Shots safely go into the water. I hope that Kutuzov is going to come this way. He seems to be coming this way. No camo on that Kutuzov, a bit disappointing. And the Soyuz is slowly moving up. If he could take a position around E2 and go back and forth, that would be quite good. Now here's the Hindenburg. He's not shooting at me, he's shooting at the Kutuzov. And we can see there, I believe it's Vladivostok. Snap of a shot at his broadside. And let's see what we can do. It'll be disappointing. Now I don't know what this Hindenburg is trying to do. As we are pushing, he could easily just kite us and shoot at me or the Soyuz, but it appears he wants to get into the cap. So we're lucky the DD was not here. 5 ricochets, HE at that angle. Lucky the DD wasn't here because that would make spotting a lot more difficult. So we slowly make our turn. We lock the guns on the other side so they turn while we turn and we can freely observe the enemy. HE shots, now we switch to AP. Hindenburg is showing us broadside, we can get some good damage in. That was 2 penetrations from just 1 turret. That is very good dispersion. And let's see what we can do. We've got time for at least 1 more salvo. Off it goes. And the other 2 turrets, bear in mind Hindenburg's... Oh, that Chabayev really took a big hit. Now bear in mind that Hindenburg Citadel is towards the back of the ship. Shooting in the first half will only give you over penetrations. It's towards the back of the ship. And it's always easy to hit it at long range. Plunging fire. So the enemy BB seem to be pushing. It's 2 ships to 1, so we are ahead. Our poor Kutuzov died, but our Soyuz is holding his ground there in a very good position. So I'll see what I can do to hurt these enemies while he is tanking. I've asked him to slowly retreat. He should slowly reverse slightly to the left behind those rocks, back and forth, while I use my HE to punish these angled BBs. Now I'm giving instructions to focus on the Vladivostok. In situations like this, you need to focus one ship as there are two of us. One fire. As I've said, HE on Stalingrad works quite well. First fire. And that Yamato has also taken a lot of damage. Was it from the Soyuz? Perhaps he showed too much broadside and he appears to be playing a secondary spell. So I snap off a shot as he's showing me his broadside. Unfortunately it is HE, but it will definitely get some guaranteed damage on him at that angle. We get 5k and a fire. Vladivostok is not on fire. I shoot at him again to keep him burning. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to spread fires around in a sector. If nothing is close to dying and there's no ship that really needs to die, it's an effective way of hurting more than one ship at a time, especially if you have a very good fire chance, as Stalingrad does. I mean, once the ship has been saturated in its superstructure and it already has a fire or two burning, just shooting more HE, it really isn't going to deal much damage. So you may as well shoot another ship and just let the damage over time take its toll. So you can see we've gotten 50k damage quite easily just with these fires and HE shots. I think the Vladivostok has 2 fires on him, which he just repaired. So we'll shoot him again. Get the fire back on, and as you can see at this angle, Stalingrad is very, very difficult to damage. At this range, 15-16 kilometers, I can sit here for the entire game. I can kind of control the engagement range as it's a fast ship, you know, back and forth. And everything is going to bounce. There's no HE monster like Smolensk. If there was HE monster, I would perhaps increase the range to make it harder for him to hit me. But with just BBs, there is really not much they can do to me. Montana's round shot looks a bit spiffy, but no, RNG protects us. That could have easily been 2 citadels. I was broadside to him. So we're still working on the Vladivostok. That Yama has retreated. He lost a lot of life. And really with a secondary build, I don't see how he can safely re-engage. The Conqueror seems to be working on him. That's good. And oh, there's the Alsace. He's moved through the cap. We're going to shoot some HE at him initially, and we've switched to AP at this angle. We can get some very good damage with AP. We still are behind on caps, which is why I politely asked for a cap earlier. Soyuz got a very good shot. Going to shoot our AP at his angled broadside, and there you go, that's Stalin rounds. We still get penetrations, and we switch to HE as he's turning. Now I hope we can get him before he rams the Soyuz. That's definitely what he's going for. I'm going to get a good shot in. The Conqueror is going to get a good shot in. Hopefully we can get him in time, and yes, he burns down. Vladivostok is still there, about 50% HP. We've dealt so much damage to him, but he still is quite hale and hearty. AP rounds, because that's what I had loaded. And then we switch to HE. Not too much damage, to be expected, 2 ricochets. And we continue on our noble work with HE spamming these angled BBs. Now our team has managed to get B. There is that cheeky Hindenburg. He's still in here. See what we can do, because he's going to perhaps try and push the Soyuz and torpedo him. It's not what I would like to happen. And you can see aiming has gotten easy in this game. If terrain is in the way, the game simply warns you. Years ago, you would have to judge that yourself. The game wouldn't tell you that your shots aren't going to make it over the island. But that's another conversation entirely. So we've taken our cap. It's 1 cap to 2 caps to 2 caps, but we are ahead in material. So they're going to have to push, and the way I see it, their BBs are on our side, so they're going to have to push this way. We snap off some shots at that line, again an angled BB, so we fire HE. And you can see the fire setting ability of the Stalingrad is quite good. Now, I'm trying to get back into a kiting position. I'm turning as fast as I can so that Vladivostok doesn't catch us in the side and delete us. He just fired, so he's still reloading at tier 8. He doesn't have much of a buff to his reload time. He doesn't have the 6th upgrade slot. So his reload is going to be around 29 seconds. So you see, now we're angled and quite safe. If he were a Montana, there's a Montana coming, he would citadel us, but he isn't. So we can kind of run this risk. I see the Montana has fired, so once again I turn. And I took some damage in the side, but you can see it wasn't too massive. So you can see the rudder shift is really paying dividends. You can just juke that rudder, and a lot of fire that would have been penetration if you hadn't moved turns into a ricochet. So the enemies shoot at you, but they don't do anything. And lots of shots miss, like that one just did. We get Witherer, dear me, 150,000 damage just with HE. In essence, yet another fire on that Montana. Just look at that fire chance. I mean, we're 11 minutes and 13 fires. That wouldn't be too shabby even for something like a Smolensk. Now, I'm focusing the Vladivostok. Now, at this stage, we can focus something. Another double fire. This is madness, as Leonidas would say. And I think he's just going to burn down. He doesn't have his repair up. That Soyuz has done very well. He finally goes down. I burned down the Vladivostok, taking us to Arsonist. And the Yamato has reappeared, so we're going to switch fire between him and the Montana. Both ships are very low. Now I can see we're firmly in the driver's seat. We're several ships ahead, and they're just all being funneled towards me. So I just set them on fire over and over again. Another fire on the Yamato. This is just crazy. Montana goes down, so I'm just going to finish off that Yamato. The Lion is running for his life. He's decided that this battle is not winnable and would like to save his ship for the next battle. Yamato is under 10k, he's burning, his time is up. And really, I would never play secondaries Yamato. A broadside shot with AP this time, and we finish him. 193,000 damage. 17 fires in just over 10 minutes. This thing is a monster. And the enemy team is complaining about the Smolensk. Well, it certainly wasn't the Smolensk, this battle. Though that ship is also quite overpowered, I'm not going to deny it. We're going to just move up here. We don't have very much time left. The Lion is running for his life. I give them maybe 60 seconds before we win on points. The Lion does not want to fight. He's running for his life. So we'll just move towards him. Hopefully we can get a shot. Otherwise it's going to be over quite quick. .850, he's still running for his life. The CV is going for him. So that is pretty much a wrap. So that is a demonstration of how Stalingrad's HE can work very, very well. There's no need to be a kind of purist and shoot AP at angled targets. It's not going to work. In any ship really, you want consistent damage. If AP doesn't work, switch to HE. And then there's also the opportunity cost. You might argue that if you use AP, if the enemy turns, you'll get good damage. If he doesn't, though, you're not going to get anything. While HE is steady, reliable damage. So, 2 fire awards, second place, good job Soyuz, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.